What's poppin', man? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Y'all, it is literally night 7. It is literally night 7 of 45 Nights live campaign where you guys are literally taking a journey with me to see all that I have been up to, but also my beautiful, beautiful business launch that is happening tomorrow. And it's not just one day, it's for the entire week. And you guys will be able to ask multiple questions and everything moving forward will build off of that. Okay. And so far we've talked about a few topics: leadership, being authentic, having a village, right? And those are some of the lives that I've done previously. So if you missed those, please go catch them. What I want you guys to understand is that today you guys are literally getting to see the real Elisha Lily Davis, and the one who is not talking about sports, right? I'm not talking about school. I'm not talking about education in a sense where I am a teacher or as my job or what I did in school and college and stuff like that. Literally, what I want you guys to understand today is that as I've started to look at my life in some areas, we think we're doing something. Right? I did good here. I did good here. I did good here. I did good here. And I started to realize, like, what identity do I really have of my own? And I realized that a lot of times we go through life not having an identity. And that's why it's so easy for us to cling to other people, to cling to other people's activities, their behaviors, their wants, their needs. And we just trying to get in where we fit in. We just trying to find ourselves. And so I realized that basketball was my only identity. And it makes me really sad to know that it took me so long to realize that not only am I much more than an athlete, but at the end of the day, I now have the skill set to know when to acknowledge of what I need to do. So I'm gonna say all that to say that I felt like a pawn in this world. So a lot of times people talk about don't play chess, play checkers, right? I mean, don't play checkers, play chess. But then when you get into just the chess world and I look at it and I learned that the most vulnerable piece on a chessboard is the pawn. Even if you can use it correctly, even if you could do certain things, the pawn is the most vulnerable. And the pawn is the one that can always be replaced, right? You use them until you don't need them no more. And can we all be honest and say, like, dang, am I a pawn in my life? Because a pawn is the most vulnerable, but the queen, she can do whatever she wants. She has the most control. She's the most powerful. Okay. And so I think it's very important for us to start really evaluating our life. Like, a lot of us may think we're doing something because we accomplishing this, or we putting in all this work, or we working really, really, really hard. But are you a pawn in your life? What real position do you have? What real control do you have? And I realized that as a basketball player, I didn't have much control no matter how hard I played. Really. And so when I realized that, for those of you who may question, Leisha, why didn't you go to the WNBA, or why didn't you go to overseas? I didn't go to the WNBA because they didn't want me, plain and simple. I didn't have the opportunity. Okay. Why I didn't go overseas is because I felt like I didn't want to go there and just be left with this life and not really knowing who I am. I didn't want to keep going, trying to literally run this race of just being a basketball player. I had to give it away. But what I also realized once I switched and I'm like, okay, I want to do this, I want to learn this, I want to try, I realized that my life became too transactional. So I'm now in the real world trying to figure out how to survive, trying to make money to enjoy life and all this good stuff. And I realized that I didn't want a transactional life. You know, like, I didn't want to just do things for money. And there was nothing more attached to it. No impact, no building, no teamwork, not even no camaraderie where I'm seeing you and we not even competing against each other, but we more so like, hey, how did you do in business this week? Or what did you do in your life that you wanted to do? Have you accomplished that goal yet? Like, I felt like everything was a checklist for me. And I started to also lose myself outside of basketball identity. I started to lose myself just in the real world of just feeling average. And I'm like, bro, who is Elisha Lily Davis? Like, who am I? Like, what do I bring to the world now that I'm not entertaining people? And it was so hard for me to figure out, like, what to do. So I would say that on my 5-year journey of trying to find myself, um, during when I was reading a book that Kevin Hart wrote, and now it's coming back to me. He said that our life is the sum total of all the decisions we made up until this point. The decisions that we've made, whether we tried to make the best decisions, we made bad decisions. So it's like, who is Elisha Lily Davis evolving into? Like, I really wanted to be somebody that can help everyone. And maybe sometimes people say, oh, that's too big of a goal. You can't help everyone. Help yourself, help your family. That's it. But I don't believe in that, because I can help people through conversation. I can help people with my story. I can help people by saying, hey, I went through that too, and I'm still going through it, or I went through that too, and this is how I'm getting through it. Right. And so I think that when going through life trying to figure out your purpose, I struggled with that for the past 5 years. Really did. And it's tough for me, because now tomorrow I'm launching to you guys something that I've been working on for a really long time, almost a year and a half now, and I could never find my footing. Right? I could never find my footing. And I said it's crazy that you say that, because I think oftentimes we make moves based on other people's expectations of us. I absolutely agree with you, Anaya. And for those of you who don't know Anaya, that's my student. She's literally my student at Oakland Tech, a great girl. Also, I appreciate her being here tonight, but she's a great student, and she makes a great point. And so I think to her point of living up to other people's expectations, I literally stopped living for other people and their expectations on June 10th, 2020. That was the day that I was able to say I don't train anymore to my client. That was my first ever client that I ever trained, and her parents. And I was so scared. I mean, like, when you in your room and you like, I'm gonna do this. You looking in the mirror like, we gonna do this. Come on, be tough. And then when you in the moment, it's like, whoo, when I said I can't take it back. Because don't nobody want nobody training training them, that's inconsistent. So I had to realize that, like, if you really gonna do this, what we doing? So June 10th, I'm gonna let y'all know that in my mind, I finally became a woman. And what I mean by that is that I was able to say, you know what? I can't continue to live for other people. I can't continue to do what they want and me not be included in that somehow. So I'm going to have to literally just believe in myself wholeheartedly, put my 10 toes down into the pavement and say, hey, I'm going to walk this way. I'm going to walk this way. And as I'm going through this, right, and I'm trying to build, I now start to attach myself or connect with people who are doing what I want to do. So me be having a great opportunity to go and learn and be a part of a program that is all black owned, 100%, right? But also not having the crab in the barrel mentality and everybody having the same intention. And so the whole reason of who Elisha Lily Davis is involving into is I want to figure out how can we as a community, as a people, use more group economics to move everybody's life forward. How can we make the next generation's life better? And I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. One of the real reasons why I also left basketball and it wasn't too easy was because I felt like my reputation was at risk. I'm literally taking it so serious, right? I'm in it like I'm a player. I'm so serious. And what I struggled with a lot was the fact that they didn't take it serious. Parents really didn't. Kids really didn't. It was up and down. And it was like no matter how hard I worked, I felt like I kept falling flat on my face. I couldn't do nothing about it, to the point where I'm ready to fight. I'm arguing, right? And when we reacting to stuff, people only see us for that. And then they charge us like, oh, yeah, this is who you are. No, that's not. That's not fair. Why did I react that way? And I realized, like, I'm become someone that's serious. I'm serious. I'm goofy. I love to have fun. If you know me, you know I'm not lying. But there has to be a balance. What we doing? What productive? Like, how can we have fun if we ain't did nothing productive? How can we have fun if I haven't made progress today? How can we have fun if I didn't secure my future or my family's legacy? Like, it's not fun to me to just have fun. I got to have fun in pockets and time. And so I realized that I wanted to be in a more serious position. I wanted people when they talk to me, like, hey, we really finna talk right now. And I'm really finna be able to adjust to anything that you want, that you need or desire in your life. And we can do that. How can I make my business be transformative and adjustable or adaptable to any person that I walk into? Whether I'm talking to a little kid trying to find themselves, like, should I go to college, Miss Davis? Should I not? A parent that been a parent for, 20 to 30 years, and they finally get time to themselves because kids have went off to college or they're adults now and they don't know who they are. Like, it's so many people that I feel like is walking around that's just existing in the world because we don't know who we are and we've never had time to figure that out. And I don't know why I kept thinking that I had to live for everybody else. I don't. But I can make a plan that could include everybody else. I didn't have to live for them though. Like, hey, my what I'm doing can help you. And what I would say is that this book, I think everybody should read this book. So if you guys don't know who this is, Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics. So the title was The National Plan to Empower Black America. I literally feel like the only thing that's stopping us is knowledge and the right tools because we just don't know. But if you think about it, I also realize that we are not in enough of the important spaces or positions. Like, I felt like there's many of us as Black people who are in these positions where you're getting a lot of money, you're getting a lot of fame, you're getting a lot of clout, you're getting a lot of TV time, you entertaining. But when it's really time to talk and make change and move forward, we're not even allowed in those conversations. We're actually kept out. And when we think about the real important positions like law, policy, finances, just the simplest things like in real estate, but beyond a realtor, like being the appraisal, where there's a lot of discrimination that happens in appraisals where our homes are valued way less than someone else. That's also another way where they keep our wealth down. So just having real estate isn't enough, right? And so I started to see like, wow, what position could I play that really could help us all really make it, like for sure. And I was able to find that. And what makes me really proud is that now, if I can just say, hey, what's your problem? Because I love talking to people. I love breaking people's shit. I love people being able to find comfort in me. If you know me, anybody who knows me know if I'm talking to you, I'm always asking, hey, what you got going on? What you trying to achieve? Or I remember that goal you told me about. How's that going? And how can I help? Or do you know about this? Do you know about that? Why? Because to me, I want to see people win. That makes me happy. I want to see Black America win. I needed to be somewhere that didn't have a glass ceiling on who I can impact and how I can impact. And I think a lot of times we really just here. We just here. Okay? And so today really was just me allowing you guys to see that Elisha Lily Davis has evolved. I've matured and I want to be more productive in what I do every single day. I don't have time. We don't have time to just be laying around or doing nothing. Because think about this. If generational wealth, let's just think of a hypothetically, or like an analogy. Generational wealth is a relay race. Okay? Pass the baton. It's a continued relay race. Since slavery, let's just use that. Since we were out of slavery, and as we're going through this, and now we're all here on this live today, for anyone listening, can you honestly say, man, this was passed down to me? This baton was passed to me. Not talents, not hard work, not qualities and characteristics and all of that. Real wealth that you can use to jumpstart your career or whatever you're trying to achieve. No, I don't. You may know somebody in your family who is wealthy or got a little money or whatever, but it ain't nothing for you. It ain't nothing for you to say, you know what, I'm finna take this and I'm finna go do woo with it. No. So to me, I had to get a part of the game that really could make change because I'm tired of being here in this world and not having nothing. I'm tired waking up every day feeling like I got to go 10 times harder just to get to the start line because there's so many barriers and things that's put in front of us for not making it. How can I help move those barriers, right? How can I help pass the baton? If there was nothing for the past 3 to 4 generations, how can I work in a way and work smart and learn how my money works to the point where I now can jumpstart and get the baton passed for the next 2 to 3 generations. I want y'all to type into the chat. Remember, the chat a little bit slow because I'm not on my phone, but I want y'all to type into the chat. Type yes or no if generational wealth was passed down to you. Literally to you. Not your mama, not your daddy, auntie supposed to trickle it down. Was there any generational wealth specifically here, like your own little pot for you? I want to see what that looks like. So please don't be ashamed, don't be embarrassed, because that's our problem. These conversations are taboo. Generational wealth, generational leadership, all of these things are taboo. We don't want to talk about it because we're either embarrassed or we don't want people to know our pockets and what we got going on and what we doing. Man, whatever, right? Was generational wealth passed down to you? Type yes or no into the chat. And remember, it's slow, so I can't see it. So I'm going to keep talking until I see them all coming through out of nowhere, because that's what happens. If there was no generational wealth passed to you, what generational wealth or things are you putting in place to make sure that that happens? What protection do you have over your future or your family's future? And for some of us, we are the people in our family who have made it really far. We're expected to do certain things. So if we have all of these expectations on us, living in today's world is so much harder, for sure. How are we going to make it? How are we adjusting to what's going on? Thank you, Promise. Promise said no. Why do we have to wake up every day feeling like we're on an island? Oh, I got to go get it. We don't have no group economics, no family economics, no none of that. That has to change. Thank you. Someone else said no. That has to change. Let me ask you this. So when we want to learn something that matters to us or that we respect, quote unquote, we research it, we take a class, we buy a book, we watch an interview or a podcast, or we go to a networking event, or we go to a mentor, or we do all this, right? If we were never taught financial literacy, how can we really respect money? If money is what allows you to say yes or no to your needs, your dreams, your desires, kids or future kids. If you never seek financial literacy or financial education, how can you really respect money? Because when you get it, you blow it, or you think you're doing something, but you don't know the game. So you're really getting played or exploited, and you only getting a little piece of the pie, not all of what you can get. These are the type of questions that I ask. We don't know how money works. We was never taught it. Many of our examples in our family and friends, we don't respect it. And sometimes we look to the people who are most talented because they got a lot of money or they're in certain positions. Just because you got a lot of money don't mean nothing, because it's not how much you make. And it's not even simply just how much you keep, but it's where you keep it and what you do with it and how you flip it, how you do it more. I needed more substance in my life. I needed more productivity in my life. I needed a opportunity where I can always find a teammate in my client. I needed to be in a position where not only can I expose my client to something dope, but I also can have the solution to help them. Most of the time, we either complaining about something, making excuses about something, trying to give advice about something, but we don't got the solution to that something. So all we doing is talking, and then mad, and then leaving the next day, talking about it again, and talk about it again. We talk too much because we don't do nothing about it. We don't never take no action. Whether you think about yourself as an individual, or you think about yourself just as just being a black person, just keeping it a buck, trying to do better, trying to do right, not trying to be that black girl, that black boy, man, whatever. We have to do better. But there's no way that you guys can sit here and tell me, I love my family, I love myself, I'm preparing for the future, I'm working hecka hard, and you don't even want to take the time to learn. how money works so that when you use your money, you will be able to know how to make your life and your family's life better. That's who Alicia Lily Davis has involved into. When you get the money, then what you gonna do with it? Because most of the time we only want it just to say we have it. And then we go blow it on stuff just to impress people who don't care anyway. So that's who Alicia Lily Davis has involved into. I'm a businesswoman. That's about group economics. Uplifting our people out of this hole, out of this dead end that we keep trying to go down and we not recognizing that it's not working no more. So that's who I've evolved into. And that's part of what my business is how can I create more opportunities and access for the people that I love, family, friends, peers, like-minded people in our community. How can I have more of a real impact, like a real imprint in people's lives? So please, when you say, "Oh, I'm chasing the bag," "Oh yeah, I want to be a millionaire," "Oh yeah, we finna be going on these trips, we finna get these cars, we finna get these houses," how? If your money is outworking you, how? Because money is attached to position and control and power and change. So no matter how much we talk, at some point we have to shut up or we have to keep asking. But we can't never make a move because we financially are not in positions as a culture, as a unit, as a group, as a race, whatever. We need to be more empowered. And that's why I'm here. That's what I'll do. And as we go into this week, y'all gonna really get to see not only what I do, how it's a solution to so many problems, breaking down some things that you guys may have never thought of, but the whole goal is for you to see how can this help me. Most of the time, people got businesses that it don't even matter to me. My business can matter to absolutely anybody. And the minute that you're ready to learn, you'll get that. But I literally had to leave basketball because I had no more control. And then I had to leave the sports industry of working in multiple roles because people didn't take things serious enough for me. People did not take things serious enough for me. I'm a serious person. And then we'll have fun. But we can't keep saying we want to be entrepreneurs. Thanks, B. Straight up. Right? We want to be entrepreneurs. We want to take our family out the hood. No. Learn how money works, please. Because the minute I learned how money works, I have been making the same amount and my life is easier. My quality of life is better. It has improved because I now have power over money, which also means I have power over my decisions, which also means I'm not impulsive, which also means I'm not making emotional decisions with my money, which also means I'm holding myself accountable, which also means I'm putting myself in a position to really make the real change. Generational wealth is not passing down businesses. You keep the business going because you my next up, you my little son, you my little no. Real generational wealth is passing down options. Give your kids or your nieces or your godchildren or whoever the option to do what they truly desire. You wanted to do that, not them. So build a business to the point where you can put people in position and develop them because that's what they wanted to do. But if that's not what they wanted to do, you cannot put in place things because at that point, you're now placing your expectations on them the same way other people is placing expectations on you. Generational wealth is a relay race and ain't none of us got the baton passed to us. Generational wealth is passing down options to give people the choice of the life that they want. That's simple. But how can you, in your right mind, pass down generational wealth and be the person in your family who make it if you don't even know the money game that controls the entire world? World, not even America, the world. So I'm very passionate about it. And the reason why I'm passionate about it and why I think I am a great candidate to talk about it, because I'm one of the people who struggle having a car note, not understanding gap insurance, having to pay my car note after I crashed my car, which was my fault. Man, that's just one. Credit score, ain't even gonna get there. I know what it feels like. That's why I want to help people not go through what I went through. For the past 5 years, I have been going through so much. And the finances literally was like, yay, nay, mm-hmm. But the minute I say, you know what, it's on, about a year and a half ago, I took a leap of faith on myself to say, let's just go and see what can happen. What's the worst that can happen? You can learn or you can win. And when you guys think about the word win, I want you to start thinking about win means what's important now. What's important now? What matters right now? No matter how you feel and what you're trying to do, what matters right now? Making a better decision today for a better tomorrow. And I want my clients, I want the people that are listening, I want to help people become leaders. Some leaders can be born, some leaders can be built. I just learned that. It may look different. It's a different process. Leadership means multiple things to different people. But at the end of the day, I want my clients to become leaders. Because the more clients that I can help become leaders, and those leaders are in their households, it'll help make those households better. So that's why I'm on here. And we're going to continue to have great talks and do a lot of things. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Yeah, man, it's time. It's time to step up. It's time for you to step up in your family. It's time for me to continue to step up and not get complacent or not, be hounded and overwhelmed. No, I'm ready for it. I'm built for this. I'm built different, actually. I'm built different because I feel like I'm a great melting pot. I come from the hood. I've experienced poverty. I know what it feels like to be exposed to around the country and just been to some countries, a few of them, and around just the United States in itself. I know what it feels like to live a great lifestyle where you don't have to wake up worrying if you're going to eat, what you doing today, how you going to get there, what's happening tomorrow. Am I important? Am I seen? Am I felt? Be seen, be heard, and be felt. Be seen, be heard, and be felt. That's what I'm on. I want you to see me, I want you to hear me, and I want you to feel me. So I'm literally taking exactly what I learned in basketball, and I'm taking that, and I put it in my business. And that's why tomorrow when you guys learn more about what I do, you guys will be able to ask those questions. Like, what do you do? How do you do it? Let me ask questions about this. Well, how does this connect to this? Man, let me tell you something. You can't build nothing on sand. And if you don't know what financial literacy is, if you don't have financial education, if you don't know the rules to the game before you get in, do you really think you're gonna show out? If you don't know the rules to a game, you just get in, you flipping a coin. Do you really think you're gonna show out in that game? You don't even know the rules. You don't have enough practice. Oh yeah. Tune in. Somebody said I gotta start tuning in more. Yep. You can go watch the last 6 lives I had. This is live 7 of my 45 nights live challenge. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So you already know how you do. When I ask you guys to DM me, when I say DM me, it's because I want to know, how did you feel from tonight? From hearing me talk and just being a part of this live, what did you get from this? I want to know, what did this make you think about? So it don't only got to be feedback like, oh, you did good, or you need to improve on this, or I want you to talk about this. But hey, man, Lily, when I was hearing you talking, man, you made me think about this. Like, wow, I never even thought about that. Well, that's what I want to do. I want to spark thoughts. I want to have thought-provoking conversations that make you say, man, I got to learn more. I got to see something more. I got to get into this a little bit more because maybe I'm missing something. I want to have more value in my life. I want to have more impact. I'm tired of struggling. And I know I'm a good person. I know I work hard. That's not enough. Being a good person and working hard is not enough in order to win and thrive in America. We've been surviving for too long, and that's over with, especially with me on the tech, because I don't shut up. That's why I said 45 nights, baby. I can keep talking. Okay? So send me your DM. What did this make you think about? And what are some things you want to learn more about now that you know that? Or what are some more conversations you would like to have around this topic? And now we have our interactive period. So I would love the interactive period or our interactive segment, excuse me, is when we do Q&A. So the past 2 nights we've done Q&A and it's been great. I mean, people are literally asking great questions. So for any of you that are watching right now, can you please ask a question? My goal every night is to get at least 3 questions asked, and I answered 3 of those questions, and that allows me to engage with you, see where your mind is at. So please, please, and I say this every single time, I do fear rejection. So me asking for something and nobody wanting to participate and help me out, it's like, dang, don't, that's like a dagger to the heart. So please, somebody ask a question, anything. It can be about whatever is on your mind right now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Dang, I don't even know who this is. I can't see the. I would have to click on your page after and DM you because I don't know. I feel a little bad. I can't. I'm trying to see. Sorry. So can somebody please ask a question? Please. You got a few people on here. I need somebody to please ask a question. And remember, sometimes it is a little bit delayed. But can somebody please ask a question? Ah, she crazy, y'all. That's Serenity. She crazy. I do miss you. You are too funny. All right, so does anybody have like a real question about what I talked about tonight or anything that you want to know that you're thinking about? Just please ask a question so that I can be able to be interacting with you guys and keep you guys entertained as well. So we at the end of the live, but I always do a Q&A, and for the past 3 nights, for the past 2 nights I've had them. What keeps you so focused? It's a great question. I would say what keeps me so focused is the fact that I want to go have what they say I couldn't. I want to go have what they say I couldn't. And we already know who they are. So sometimes they can be literally the systematic oppression that we go through. They can also be the doubters. They can also be the people who didn't give me an opportunity, who told me no, who shut me down, who closed that door, who didn't think I was, polished up enough or professional enough or experienced enough. I really want to go after what they said I couldn't have. And I think that me going after having a desired legacy first, building a legacy, something that can be passed down, something that can be continued, right? And then building a desired lifestyle. Now knowing that I did my job to look out for my family and those coming up. Now, you know what I'm saying? I can now go enjoy some of the fruits of my labor before I leave this earth. So I'm going to take everything they said I couldn't and more. That's what keeps me focused, for sure. Because I literally went through thinking I had it all and then losing it all, for sure, from basketball. Do you believe this pandemic was planned? I absolutely do. I absolutely do. So this is how you can say pandemic. You can say pandemic or plandemic or bandemic. So those are people who were ready for it, meaning if you already had all of your things set up in place and you're organized, or you actually knew you had inside information, it's a pandemic because you already knew what was happening. That's why we see what's going on with the stocks. We see what's going on with real estate, all this stuff. Whoever was ready, that's why. For the pandemic, that's for the people during the pandemic that woke up. Right? Not the people who planned it, but the ones who planned during it, who came out better. Like, ooh, when the pandemic happened a month or something ago, girl, you was here. What you been doing? Man, that woke me up. I ain't never went through life not knowing what was going to happen tomorrow. We went through a global crisis, quote unquote, a global health crisis. So it's people who planned during the pandemic and came out better, whether you knew about it or not. And then the pandemic is for everybody who really think it's just a sickness. Keep it a buck. For real, keeping it a buck with you. Okay, great question though, Lamar. AP, where are a few ways to help with consistency? So one, helping with consistency, you immediately need to be in a like-minded community. And what I mean by like-minded community is like-minded has nothing to do with it's family or friends. Do you guys share the same desires or common goals or visions? And when you find that person or that group or that organization or that entity, you need to put yourself in it. So you need to pay that monthly subscription, whatever. You need to pull up. You need to be engaged. You need to learn. Because when you are in a like-minded community, not only are you inspired by the other people around you who are doing what you want to do, they're also tangible to you. So you can actually ask them questions. You can ask them questions, learn from the experts, learn from the teachers, the people who is doing this stuff, who's running this stuff, right? And also to hold you accountable. When you be in communities, they'll give you a little homework. Hey, this needs to be due by this next week. Read this chapter, have your notes down for this. Hey, we're going to be talking about this. Make sure you took notes on this. Did you finish this? Did you? So that's what's very important, is that we don't have enough like-minded communities that we feel we can be a part of. I have been a part of multiple like-minded communities since 2018, when I decided to start my first business, when I was training, right? And I graduated from an acceleration program that's in Oakland at the Optima building in downtown Oakland called Optima Business Bootcamp. And I did it for a year straight. And I learned so much. And even when there's times where I wanted to give up and not go, the other people would speak life back into me. And it felt good because it's easier to listen to people who is doing what you are doing, or they are doing what you aspire to do. So whether you down or up, it's just a great time, a great thing. And for those people who don't have those communities, I'm actually going to be talking about that in week 4. Week 3, studentpreneurship, and how we can do better with that. What materials do you have for us to learn these tips? Thank you, Jasmine. So I actually have a business, and so tomorrow is my business launch. And the 3 key things that I've learned that really allow to be solutions for my clients, potential clients, people who are interested, is basically you guys getting the financial education first. Because when you get the financial education, that's where personal development comes and improves you. Once you learn how money works and you see how you can now be playing the game, now everything, your vision and everything around you change, because I teach you not if, but when. I literally can show you when. Like literally. Financially, I can show you when. And it ain't no risk. Oh, what about the market? The stock market? What if there's another pandemic? What about real estate? Bro, we don't worry about all that. We live in a guaranteed reality. Period. And so you can find out more about that. You can go click the link in my bio, or you can text the number. You can text the number that I have in all of my all of my posts. Text that number, or click the link in the bio if you're ready, because tomorrow is go time. My business has already started. It's just that this is the first time you guys are hearing about it. No questions, Lee, but you doing your thing, and we appreciate you. Chris Head, man, I appreciate you, bro. I really do. You always been very genuine, showed the same exact energy every time I see you, so I really appreciate you for sure. Definitely do. All right, we got Henderson. Let's get to these private banks. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all something. If you don't have a private bank, you literally are losing in life, because you have to always ask people for things. When you have a private bank, you don't have to ask anymore. We're not asking. We're walking in that thing. We're walking in. So private banking eliminates you having to ask. It's all based on your preparation and you being able to go and get exactly what you want. And that's what that teaches. What's the name and the author of the book you showed earlier? Oh, here. So Claude Anderson, Powernomics, the National Plan of, the National Plan to Empower Black America, excuse me. That's the book. What are you most excited about with the business launch? What I'm most excited about is everybody being able to see me for more than a basketball player. Like, I think that's probably one of the dopest things, is because whenever people see me, I'm telling you, like, it don't matter if I seen you yesterday, right? Like, it's just people always saying, hey, you gonna train again? You gonna coach the kids? Hey, you playing still? You should still go. It's like, oh, it's like when you break up with somebody And you moving on. You trying so hard to move on. But people always asking you about it. Like, bruh, like, I'm trying to move on and you keep bringing bruh up. I thought I was over him. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm so excited about my business launch because now we've already done 7 nights. You know what I'm saying? So for the rest of these nights, you guys will be able to see Alicia Lily Davis in a new light. Like, wow, Lily was a great athlete, but I'm loving what she doing now. Like, wow. And what I really, to simply put it, is I will be a better basketball player. I will be a better businesswoman than I was a basketball player. And that's a really high stake. And why do I say that? Played basketball at Arizona State, graduated. I was inducted into the Berkeley High Athletic Hall of Fame, which is really cool in my high school. You know what I'm saying? I have done a lot of things with individual success. We've done many things with, being top country or like the top 10. I didn't did so much in basketball. I have a great measurement of what success means. So if I can bring my business to here and beyond, it's over with. So that's why I'm so excited about my business launch, because you guys will literally be able to see, wow, I want to talk to Lily about business, not basketball. Thank you. Great question. Any more questions? Do we have any more questions? You're positive. Positive is very important. Keep going. Thank you so much. Hey, y'all. So, once again, does anybody else have a question? I see that there are new people on here. So, I want to give you guys the opportunity to ask those questions. Whatever you want to ask, it can be about anything. My whole goal is, after me allowing you guys into seeing how Alicia Lily Davis operates, me being vulnerable, me showing you that, yes, I'm in the new industry, but I've been in this industry for more than a year and a half. And what's really exciting is that I'm definitely going to allow my credibility, my integrity, my will to be better, right? My drive to do what's right and allow people to trust in the right way and not be exploited. Because I've always been a bodyguard and not want people to be bullied or taken advantage of, whether you're family or not. So I wanted to just bring that along with me in the basketball world. In this new world. So once again, you guys, this has been a great live. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask? For those of you who just signed in. And remember that my chat is a little slow. So you guys may have already typed it, but it's not coming in because I'm not on my phone. So I'm going to let it come. I'm going to just probably give it maybe one more minute. And then if no one has asked another question, then that will be the end. But once again, as we're talking today, my whole goal is to bring more substance, to be more impactful, for us to be more productive, for us to have an economic competitive advantage. That means have the money to build the communities that we need to uplift us, to do for self, to do for us. But we can't do that if we only protesting, or we only working hard, or we only giving back. We're missing the entire piece that makes not only the world go around, but dreams come true. Money. Something. And it takes a lot longer for us to get things that we want when we don't have the money or we don't got the credit score, So I just really think that this is really exciting. And tomorrow, we're definitely going to dive in. I'm going to have my whiteboard, I'm being my teacher mode. And I really just want to teach you guys not only about financial education, but how can you attach that to your desired legacy and your desired lifestyle that you want to lead. And at that point, you now look at money as an employee for you, and money works for you, and you don't work for it. And now you take back not only control over your mindset and your decisions, but you regain 100% control of your life, because you no longer have to depend on the bank or a credit score for you to win. As long as you want to put in that work and do better and get that income, we can work with that. So that's who Alicia Lily Davis has evolved into. I have evolved into the space of the financial industry, but I have come a different route as well. Everything I do is not going to be like everyone else. Should I get a credit card? You don't need one. Whether you want to get one or not, that's your choice. You do not need a credit card. When you have a private bank, you do not need a credit card. If you want a credit card, that is totally your choice. That's not something that I teach at all. I teach debt-free solutions. Credit equals AKA debt. So, and it's nothing against nobody. I just wanted us to not only do things that were debt-free, that gives us ownership immediately when we purchase things, but also give us the ability to not have to act. Because even when we use a credit card, it's the limit that they put on it, or it's the loan, or it's us getting approved or whatever. We can eliminate all of that with private banking, financial education, personal development of figuring out why does money matter to you and your dreams and the impact that you want to have for your family, your friends, your community, your peers. The conversation changes a lot. Can you speak a little bit more about private banking? Oh, okay. So I'm going to answer this question. I got you. So private banking is simply an insurance reserve that's built for cash. And insurance, if you look up the word, insurance is protection from loss, right? But there's also more things about it, and such as tax shelter. Okay, so your private bank is tax free because all the money that is growing in your private bank has already been taxed, so it's after tax dollars. So everything that grows in it is tax free. That's one thing. Two, private banking beats inflation. Inflation is about 3.3% a year on average, right? So if you have $100 today, next year, your $100 will be $97 because the value of the dollar continues to drop because of inflation and the fact that the dollar is no longer attached to gold. There's nothing that backs the dollar. When gold used to back the dollar, it held the banks accountable. The minute that we took gold away from the dollar, it allowed the banks to give out more money than they actually had. Okay? So by your money being in a place where you're like, man, I want to save it. That's one thing, but I don't know what to do with it. What should I do? Let's invest. Let's try this. Let's try that. The minute you invest, it don't matter if it's in business, real estate, stock market, Forex, it don't matter. Whatever you invest in, that's a risk. You can't guarantee that you're going to win anything. But private banking, you get a guaranteed 4% growth on your money. So when your money is sitting in your private bank, it's only growing until you're ready to use it. Simply that. But if something were to happen to you, you automatically have put in place an income replacement for your family or whoever was financially dependent on you, or just the generations to come. So let's say if you're a mother, you have a kid and you've been taking care of it, and somehow you passed away at the age of maybe, let's just say 5. That kid illegally still has 13 more years until they're 18. So who's not only going to physically take care of the kid and keep them safe, how will they continue to have the lifestyle that you are providing for them, or give them a good life where they don't have to struggle or go without? Most people, we leave our kids with people, but we don't leave our kids or the people with nothing to work with. So how can we do that? Okay, so very simply, private banking is protected from the IRS because there's a specific code that protects it. So if you were to have to go to court, go through a divorce, have to pay child support, like all this little different stuff, your private bank is untouchable because by law, it's not considered an asset. But that's the reason why many of us don't know about it, because it's not considered an asset. It's not something people talk about, but it's what the banks use when they are about to give you your mortgage, give you your car note, let you use some credit, let you get a personal or a business loan. Banks use private banking. And when you are educated by me, I show you that and I educate you before you become a client. So those are just a few things where you can really learn that private banking is what you're missing. And it's the solution to really giving you that jumpstart that you want for your life, your legacy, and those who are coming up next. When is a good time to join private banking? You can join right now. Click the link in my bio. You're going to sign up. I'm going to give you a courtesy call. We're going to have a great conversation, and then we're going to be able to meet. Okay? And so, like I said, you guys are just now learning about my business. And I'll be able to break that down as we go into that tomorrow. But this is not tomorrow won't be the first day that I'm opening my doors. My doors have been open for a long time, right? So far. Okay. All right. So I hope that answered your question. That was a great question. You can always learn more, but definitely go hit the link in my bio. Sign up. Sign up. It's not a lot. You just really put your name, last name, first name, birthday. Very simple. But I want to be able to know, how can I help you? I need your information. Okay. So once you go and sign up, we can go from there. And for those of you who choose not to sign up today, you choose not to support or sign up or at least see what it is, you will be left behind, meaning that whenever you are ready to learn, I will always allow you. I ain't gonna never stop you. But why do you keep depriving yourself on something that can really save you out of this poverty cycle or this rat race cycle, feeling like every day you waking up but ain't nothing happening. Every day you waking up and you working hard but ain't nothing happening. Every day you trying to do better, do better, do better. You don't want to do nothing illegal. But sometimes you're like, I might have to just to get out this little hole. But why do we always have to keep put ourselves in those positions? So when we have money talk, it's like, wow. So that's what I want to do. I want to have those tough, uncomfortable conversations about money, but I also want you to feel that you can confide in me and I'm not going to speak on you. I'm not going to tell nobody your business. I just really want to be able to help you the best way I can. And everybody can start it. There's no minimum that you need to start. There is no tax bracket you need to be in to start. And that's the big misconception, is that most of us assume, and that's what stops us from asking the question or starting the conversation. So great questions. All right, so y'all, this has been great. I'm so excited for tomorrow and all the things to come. Tomorrow will be a little bit different. I will be talking, but it will be more in a whiteboard teaching mode. And my whole goal is really to be able to slowly break down some of these things to you guys, so you guys are absolutely ready to take on the world when you are ready to learn. All right, so thank y'all. It's your girl, Shalili Davis. And if you say that you want to learn, real learning starts with your desire to better yourself. So if you want to learn, you should want to better yourself, because that's where it all starts. And if you don't want to better yourself, then you have to be okay with the life that you have, because life is what you allow. All right, y'all. So it's been real. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow for night 8 45 nights live campaign. If you missed all live before, go look back. Please send me a DM of how did this conversation make you think? What did this conversation make you think about? What do you want more of? What do you want to talk more about? What are some topics you want to touch on when it comes to personal development, financial literacy, debt-free solutions? We can keep on going from there, all right? But I love y'all. I'm out this thing. See y'all tomorrow. Yee. Hey, 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 ooh, hey, 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 ooh, hey. Damn, that was that long? I was on there for a minute. I ain't even gonna lie to you.